Okay, guys, before we go into this video, some people, they watch my video for the first time, they don't know who I am. Howdy, Attorney Walter Hnot. Most of you didn't subscribe to Disability Attorney in America. Now that we're done with that, let's get to the point of, wait. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a review. I love waking up to this 5-star reviews on Google. Disability Resolution Law Firm, Disability Resolution Florida. That's the law firm. Write a review. I love the 5 stars. All right, 2 things before we start this video, and this is incredibly important. Some of the things that we're going to talk about in this video are, they're upsetting. They're very upsetting. Number 2, I was injured pretty badly yesterday as a result of a runaway tractor because the brakes failed on it. As a result of me having too big of a trailer on it, and I went down an area of the mountain that I shouldn't have been going down with a trailer that big on the back of this trailer. As a result, I may have to stop the video early because what happened was when a tractor loses its brakes, and I'm going to make this very short and simple, the first thing you do is you try to go ahead and brake. You can't, it's lost brakes. So then you try to put it in reverse. And then the wheels, they just kind of spin because you're already going 20 miles per hour downhill at that point. So they're spinning, turning up grass, but you're still going faster. So then you turn it to the right because guys like me, we turn it to the right, right? Some people turn it to the left. I turn it to the right. And then we realize that we turned it too far to the right, and the trailer is now slammed past us and is about to rip us out of the tractor and spin us over and murder us. So then we go ahead and point it downhill again so that the trailer doesn't spin and kill us. And then we go ahead and try and jump off it so that it goes into the neighbor's house or a tree. It was actually a tree when I jumped off of it. When I jumped off the tractor, I was scared because I thought I was going like 30 miles per hour on this damn tractor. I was gripping with my left hand that I was using to propel myself off it, but I forgot to let go. So when I jumped off the tractor, my hand grabbed the wheel and slammed it over. And the damn tractor then drove uphill slightly and basically jackknifed with the trailer. Now, when I jumped uphill and off the trailer, or off the tractor, the trailer, so one of these happened. I jumped off this way. Uphill was this way. Tractor went this way. Tractor and the trailer then went like this. And I'm right here. The reason that the tractor was not destroyed by the trailer is because my fat butt was in between the trailer and the tractor, and it slammed into my back. Now, bottom line is, then we're getting straight to the video. My back is so swollen where it slammed into me because it was a full trailer that it's messing with my intestines. So if I have to stop the video, just understand that's why. I'm just not digesting anything properly because my body is swollen. All right. Don't worry. No, I didn't go to the hospital. That's not what I do. All right. Here's the thing. This video has some things in it, and I want to do a quick little reminder that are going to be upsetting to some people. There is a division within the SSA, the Social Security Administration, called the OIG. They're kind of like the Men in Black version of the SSA, right? They're kind of like the guys who operate the whole CDI unit thing, send it out to have them go ahead and investigate people. They're the group that tests new technology. They're the think tank of the SSA. They're the attorneys of the SSA. They're the attorney on behalf of the commissioner. Let me read to you this article real quick. An AI chatbot duped Social Security staffers. The SSA has taken notice of this. It's by John Maganaro, July 25th, 2023, 3:10 p.m., specifically from ThinkAdvisor.com. Really cool article. The Social Security Administration is the latest government agency to outline its plan to confront emerging challenges and opportunities presented by the rise of artificial intelligence technologies, including the already successful use of AI-based chatbots to steal money from unwary SSA staffers and beneficiaries. Okay. Now, what should concern you is that this wasn't just stealing money from beneficiaries, because realistically, most beneficiaries do not have training or understanding as to how the banking system works, what kind of information they need to change the account, to send it somewhere else, et cetera, et cetera. So the bottom line is, we expect the beneficiaries to screw up. We do. It's just the reality of it because they don't have training. But we don't expect the staffers of the local field office to make the same mistake. All right. To that end, the special agent in charge of the major case unit within the Social Security Administration's Office of the Inspector General briefed members of Congress last week about the emerging threats presented by artificial intelligence, especially its potential use to defraud the Social Security beneficiaries. Now, as you know, Social Security Administration is like the biggest line item of what the SSA spends money on. It's basically retired people for the most part and giant naval ships. Okay. So, like the more common government impersonation scams that the SSA investigates, the chatbot numbers originated from overseas, Monaco said. The chatbots were effective in moving stolen Social Security benefits into the stream of criminal commerce here in the United States, where organized rings of money mules collected and moved the proceeds, Monaco noted. So just to clarify something, they noticed a test and did a test where they tested to see what chat GPT could do, and it was able to fool the local field office reps into changing the accounts. It was able to fool them and take money and put it into criminal enterprise accounts and then move it outside of the country. Okay. Monaco spoke before members of the House Committee on Ways and Means Subcommittee on Social Security. In addition to briefing the members on the chatbox attack, he also spoke more broadly about the SSA's planned response to AI-assisted threats to Social Security's critical programs and systems. Now, you guys remember where everybody beat me up and attacked me because they said, look, there's going to be a giant technological attack on the US. It's the thing that makes the most sense at this point. Remember when I made that video and then everybody attacked me on it? I was like, no, that's ridiculous. It's fear mongering. Oh my goodness. Shit, it happened. It already happened. We didn't know about it until they had to go ahead and go in front of Congress and let them know, hey, we had a whoops. Okay. All right. So bottom line is there's emerging technologies in both investigations and audits. Our goal is to be at the forefront of AI related issues by learning to leverage AI, such as in using advanced algorithms to spot abnormalities and outliers that are indications of fraud. So next time you talk with the SSA's, system, if you have an opportunity to chat with them via their online system, just don't sound like a robot. That's the basic deal. Monaco noted that the SSA Inspector General Gail Ennis recently established an internal task force to formally study AI and related technology. That's a bit of a pat on the back to Inspector General Gail Ennis, because the problem that they sometimes have the SSA is that they're way behind the ball on getting a group to actually study what's going on. And when they do that, it's such a bad thing. But I'm glad that they're on top of it, because as the largest line item of the United States, that's a lot of money that can be stolen relatively quickly. Okay. Of particular importance, so from this effort, he said the agency expects to determine the tools, processes, and staffing needed to investigate and deter AI-related fraud, and to leverage AI in these efforts. Of particular importance is the review of how the secure electronic delivery of funds may be put at risk, Monaco said, adding that the Office of the Inspector General understands that criminals will use AI to make fraudulent schemes easier and faster to execute, the deceptions more credible and realistic, and the fraud more profitable. Echoing Monaco's comments, financial industry experts say artificial intelligence presents big opportunities for firms and other potential, groups. But they have to elevate their service to meet those needs. At the same time, with this advancement, the debate and controversy continue to grow around privacy, regulation, which elements of financial advice will be or should be digitized, and what the ultimate impact will be. All right, so let's talk real quick about the way it used to be done. The way this all used to be done is basically you would have a drug dealer get a Social Security recipient hooked onto a particular drug, whether it's crack cocaine or maybe it's meth or whatever. And then the drug dealer would over time go ahead and basically get that person in debt by buying more and more and more drugs. Then they would make a deal to transfer their home to basically the drug dealer, or to sell the home, and they would give proceeds to the drug dealer. That was the way that this whole thing, because as part of that, when they owed money to the drug dealer, they would go ahead and, essentially, let's just call it like it is, they would allow the drug dealer to take out loans on their behalf using their identification. And then they would allow the drug dealer to have access to their, their Social Security debit express card or their account, and the drug dealer would just take funds. And when they still owed money, they would go ahead and have to owe the drug dealer the whole house and stuff like that. So that's the way it used to work. But criminals are getting better and better. And to be honest with you, COVID was like the academia 101 for criminals to start beginning the process of stealing lots and lots of money, which is the ironic thing. Somebody like me is kind of wallers in poverty with student loans, while the criminals out there learn how to go ahead and manipulate the system and end up millionaires at the end of the day. And it doesn't take a significant amount of time to create said millionaires. So the bottom line that I'm getting at with this whole situation is, at the end of the day, there's a problem. And the problem is inherently going to get worse. Unfortunately, and I think this is incredibly important for you to understand, unfortunately, not only does the SSA have to become experts in this, but so do the claimants. Because when you go to sign up for something on your computer, or you open an email, they're going to be able to get enough technology and access to your digital profile, let alone them stealing things from the SSA to gain your Social Security number, your birthday, et cetera, that it will get to the point where they have the capacity to go ahead and in many ways, fashion and forms, just steal the money. Now, here's the overall general problem with that. It's a lot of money, which means the likelihood of there being cheating, okay, to get Social Security benefits by artificial intelligence, by people controlling that AI bot, that's going to be high, right? It's super lucrative. So you're going to have the best scientists, the best, C-suite guys working on it. C-suite, that's another way of saying the best, tech builders, best programmers, etc. So as a result of that little dilemma, you have tons of money that they can potentially tap into. Now, they can tap into it at many levels. They can tap into it before it leaves the SSA. They can tap, or the U.S. Treasury. They can tap into it, as it's going to your account. They can tap into it once it's reached your account. They can tap into it as you're pulling it out of your account. So there has to be a future where the Social Security Administration does some sort of education platform for people to understand what to do about this AI threat, because it's not going to get easier. It's only going to get worse. Now, along with all of that, I think that one of the big problems that they're going to have to start to deal with is, what is the insurance policy on somebody who loses their benefits? Do we just not pay them for that month? Is it so sorry, so sad? Do we replace the funds that they should have had? What is the insurance policy that we are going to use with this artificial intelligence situation? Because you're going to have a lot of people who literally had nothing to do with these funds being taken. Somebody will just be using their computer and poof, the funds are gone. So the bottom line is, with this whole situation, we need education. We need the SSA to be on top of how to teach the future generations of claimants and recipients how to actually not do things that will cause an AI interference. Now, with that said, as somebody who coded websites when they were in law school to be able to afford their student loans, it's just like my whole life is just a student loan tragedy. But the whole point here is this: I can tell you that the difference between, something being successful and lots of money going one way, or lots of anything going one way, and lots of something going the other way, is literally a 1, a 0, a comma, whatever, because it's all coding. It's how you code the program to transfer and exchange. I don't think you're going to be seeing as much of the snatch and grab stuff unless we continue to have really, really bad inflation, where you'll see like small crime, petty crime, that kind of stuff taking place. I think what we're going to start to see are the cartels and stuff like that utilizing artificial intelligence to make money in all kinds of ways. Make money on TikTok, make money on Facebook, make money on YouTube, etc. Because, the ironic thing is there's a problem. And when I say this problem, you're going to be like, of course that's the problem. There's a problem with the distribution of drugs for these cartels. First off, using submarines, using planes, yeah, it's kind of expensive. Not as much, not nearly, comparative to the profit you'll make on your ROI. But the problem with this whole drug situation of the people who are selling and distributing crack cocaine, heroin, angel dust, meth, whatever, is that you ultimately run low on people who want to use it in an area because there's only so many generations of that group that's willing to try it in that area. And the reality is this: you basically are killing off your purchaser, right? That's what it is. But with the Social Security benefits, if you could find a way to keep moving the server and hiding the ball, you could, in theory, tap people's benefits, and they'd have to, at the SSA, find a way to technologically tackle it. Now, can I be very straight up with you guys about something? The SSA has had some major technological changes, okay? Major technological changes, not only at the DDS level, but also at the OHO level and the FO level. But the big ones, the OHO level was, I think, the most recent one, followed by the DDS level. Let me tell you this. Their technology is usually super. Some of the established stuff, they still haven't worked the bugs out. Like their ERE-AR system, tons of bugs. Okay. Well, we'll send something in, we'll read receipt that it's been accepted, and then later we'll get an email that says, well, we just kidding, there was an error. The point is, the SSA is going to have to reach out to some groups that really do this stuff, like Oracle, etc., to go ahead and protect this money, because the current tech people that they have working within their internal systems, and they even did an article. They did an article where the chair of the Social Security subcommittee, right, wrote to the Social Security Administration and said, "What are we spending this, $2 billion or whatever? I forget what the number was, but it was a lot of money. How are we spending all this money on technology?" And the underlying theme there was, and why are we not farther along than we should be with interagency communication with our technology? And the reality is this: it was not long ago. Okay, we're talking about over 10 years, but it was not long ago that the SSA was using real fax machines, like the thing you put the paper in to fax it somewhere. Like they didn't even have a digifax, And then some of the local FOs, they took forever to get that. So the problem is this, and I think the ultimate result is that they're going to have Oracle come in, or one of these giant tech companies, to actually build a system to protect benefits from AI that interlinks with the US Treasury. And as a lot of people say, and I'm going to be doing a much larger video on it, they're like, oh, this digital currency is so scary. It's so scary. Yeah, it has a lot of negative attributes to it. It absolutely does. Okay. But to be fair, what group of people are already living in a digital currency world for the most part when receiving their benefits, which are all US tender? You guys are. The disabled, the retired, you guys are all living in that world already. Right? And now the question becomes, how do we secure that? It's a tough look. If you have an intelligence far beyond the capacity of Einstein, figuring out ways to trick a local SSA field office rep who may not have a college degree, it's going to be a little tricky, because all they have to do is figure out how to get that field office rep using an artificial voice over the phone to talk with that field office rep, and then change, the bank account that's supposed to go to. Think about that. What do you need? You need routing numbers. You need account numbers. You need a social security number. You need a birthday. How many times have your social and your birthday been stolen? Mine's been stolen many times. The first time it got stolen was from Berklee College of Music. That's where I went to college. Berklee College of Music is the first time it got stolen. Okay. Then after that, there was company after company where my stuff, credit cards, the whole thing got stolen. So my point is, if it's out there on the dark web and they have most of the information they need, all they got to figure out is your account number, where the money was already supposed to go, and then where the account is going to go thereafter, which of course they'll set up an account with the banking user ID and all that stuff to create their own little online. They get and then they'll have it transferred. The check gets deposited. The person calls in, a couple days later saying, "Where the hell's my check?" And then of course they say, "Well, hey, you called in. This is your voice. This is your voice." And then all of a sudden, this is your voice. Or how about filling out a form with your handwriting? It's not hard to match somebody's handwriting when you have artificial intelligence backing it. It's super simple. They can go ahead and fill out any SSA form. make it look good, send it in. They can even have a human sitting there and fill it out, or they can have a machine that literally holds a pen and completes it. So the point is, and I thank the people who actually watch this channel now. Most of the people that watch this channel are like open to ideas. When I first started doing the videos where I was explaining what could happen, what should happen, oh my goodness, people were like, that's fear mongering. Within a year, those things happened. And that was what was so shaming to those people who ironically had no care at all about, being mean to me, because, that's how people are. If they don't like an idea, they're going to attack the person that gave it to them, So the point is this, and I think this is really relevant and incredibly important. I'm very pleased that the Social Security Administration is taking this so seriously. I think the most obvious thing is that there's two main groups where you got to watch it. Super weapons, right, that the USA has, and Social Security money. Because what would it take to divert enough accounts per month, right, for it to be material? How much money would it take for it to be something that the SSA could not cover? Would it be $1 million? Would it be $500 million? At what point would the checks for that month be beyond whatever? At what point do they have to say, well, we got to cut off people changing account numbers. We got to cut off people changing addresses of where their check is supposed to be mailed. That is the future of this. Artificial intelligence is brighter than we can ever be. Artificial intelligence is faster than we can ever be when it comes to processing speed and analysis. So at the end of the day, there is a major problem here where we are always going to be trying to catch up. And the criminals who have some of the greatest scientists when it comes to coding, frankly, they've got the SSA outgunned very likely. And the problem inherent with that is that they're going to lose a lot of money. And to what degree, my question is, will the abuse and removal of funds from the SSA to the American people not be able to be replaced? And remember, most people on Social Security benefits nowadays, there's a large chunk that are month to month. You don't get benefits for that month, and they're still trying to figure out what happened. They're still trying to figure out the fraud. It might take you 3 months to get your benefits turned back on. How is that going to go when you have to pay rent? How are you going to get those extra payments that were lost that are now, fueling terrorism somewhere? Something to think about. Anyways, guys, I hope you're doing well. I will catch you at the next video, which talks about what is the lack of buying power that you have now from your benefits. Everybody always likes to talk about stimulus money and stuff like that. I'm going to talk to you about the truth of the matter, which is how much money have you actually lost, as a result of them changing the math that they use to calculate your inflation or cost of living adjustment that you should have as an increase each year. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a review. I always prefer the five-star reviews. I will catch you at the next video, and then we're going to do that video. And then after that video, we're going to go straight to doing the questions where people get to call in. I will catch you a little bit later, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.